Rough one tonight in Cleveland for the Memphis Grizzlies as they drop their fourth straight game and third on this road trip as the Grizzlies fall to the Cleveland Cavaliers 108-100 despite leading by as many as 11. They fall tonight by 8. I'm Rob Fisher, Brevin Knight alongside here on Grizzlies Live postgame. Pete Pranico will join us here momentarily. And Brevin, we talked about it during Grizzlies Live pregame tonight about not letting the best player, Donovan Mitchell, be the best player on the floor. He kept him in the game in the first quarter, wasn't the best player on the floor until he won him the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was terrific in the fourth quarter. To give Evan Mobley a shout out what he did to start the fourth quarter. But the finish of the fourth quarter was all Donovan Mitchell. The beginning of the basketball game, he did a good job of getting things off to a good start for the Cavs, early double-digit scoring, getting himself to the free throw line, drawing fouls from the Grizzlies defense. And then through the body of the game, I thought they did a pretty good job of keeping him under wraps. But star players know when it's big-time moments, and he shined brightest in the big-time moments. In the fourth quarter, he was unstoppable for this Cavaliers team, getting to the basket, knocking down threes, making plays for others, igniting a crowd that had been pretty much quiet throughout the night. And we said, don't allow him to get 30 to 35. He got 30.
Yes, he did. 14 of them coming in the fourth quarter to get him to 30 as Pete joins us now from the booth. And he was terrific tonight, especially in that fourth quarter.
He was. And a 30-point game, but also 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Yeah. And he's one of those guys that even though the shot wasn't falling, the 3-ball wasn't falling early, certainly did not lose confidence in it. He's been in these moments before, and that's why he's an all-star.
Yeah. Well, Jaren Jackson Jr., a former all-star himself, he had 26 points tonight. I think the thing important about Jaren right now is we've seen it a couple times in the last 3 games. Good starts by Jaren. He's finding a way to get off to a good start.
Good starts, being aggressive. Being aggressive got him to the free throw line. Saw the ball go in the basket. I think this was easily his best offensive game, and not just because he had a season high in points. I like what he did, and I think, frankly, having the availability, of Zach Edey made his offense a lot more effective tonight.
Yeah, 17 in the first half for Jaren. You see the 23 field goal attempts as he only made the 6, but it's nice to see the aggression from Jaren Jackson Jr. in this game, and they're going to need for him to be big. We said stars win games in the NBA. That's just the reality of it. Their 2 stars were able to pull the game out in the fourth quarter. The Grizzlies are going to need their stars down the stretch of the fourth quarters also.
Yeah, one of the Grizzlies stars, Ja Morant, unfortunately had to leave the game early, only played 5 minutes, 59 seconds tonight before leaving with calf soreness. So Grizzlies were without Ja the rest of the way. You said shout out Mobley a moment ago for what he was able to do. He had a huge fourth quarter too. Evan Mobley, he had 8 points and 7 boards in the fourth quarter.
He was terrific. And I said the beginning of the fourth quarter was Evan Mobley time. He was on the floor and was on the bench. Donovan Mitchell was on the bench and he went to work. And he had a size mismatch. He continued to go take himself into the post area, offensively rebounded the basketball. And so he got things going for the start of the fourth. And then they said, bring in the finisher for us. And Donovan Mitchell finished it all.
Yeah, Mitchell's a guy who can score and give you assists. Mobley is a guy who can score and give you rebounds and block shots as well. Really a fine all-around player, and he put this team along. He and Spider put the team on their shoulders and carried them home to a win.
22 and 13 for Mobley tonight. For the Grizzlies, it was good news. It was at the start of the evening when it was announced that Zach Edey was going to be available for the Grizzlies tonight. He got the start. His numbers were good, but his impact was even better.
I think his impact really opened up the floor for other people. That's why I said I think this was Jaren Jackson Jr.'s best offensive game because Edey was able to create some space, massive screener, lob presence. We saw a lob that Ja Morant threw him early on in this game. And you would look at Zach Edey tonight, and if there were any signs of rust, maybe it was the missed dunk in the fourth quarter. But other than that, I think it was a very solid season debut for Zach Edey tonight.
Very solid. And I said it at the end of the game, the one thing that has been different, keeping the ball high when he catches it high, not bringing it down to allow smaller players to affect his shot attempts.
Yeah, he did a great job of that tonight. 13 and 7 for Big Maple tonight for the Grizzlies. We will take a break here on Grizzlies Live postgame presented by your Mid-South Ford dealers. Grizzlies fall tonight to the Cleveland Cavaliers. 108-100. The final score as the Grizz drop their 4th straight game. Back on Grizzlies Live postgame presented by your Mid-South Ford dealers. Grizzlies fall tonight in Cleveland to the Cavaliers, 108-100. Cavs improved to 6-2 here in the month of November. Grizzlies dropped their fourth straight game with this loss tonight in Cleveland, third straight here on this 4-game road trip. Grizzlies got bad news early in the game tonight. It was off to a good start for the Grizzlies and off to a good start for Ja Morant, who had been struggling shooting recently, but he knocked down his first 2 shots and things look good. But Brevin, you noticed something didn't look right with Ja Morant.
Yeah, his gait just was different. After that timeout right here, you'll see he'll come out of this timeout with a little bit of a limp. He started a little bit of the game, and you can immediately see it. When he walked to the free throw line, you could tell the play started. You can tell that he just wasn't moving the same way he was to start the game, and inevitably we see him take a trip to the locker room. But it was, like you said, he was getting himself out to a good start. Hopefully this isn't anything that will be long-lasting for him.
I think you may have said it the other night. Calf things right now, let's be very cautious.
Everybody around the league, I talked to a trainer from another team, and they said when you're dealing with calf injuries, everybody's super conservative.
Absolutely. So hopefully Ja will be fine and ready to go when the Grizzlies go to San Antonio on Tuesday. Right now, let's hear from the head coach of the Grizzlies, Tuomas Isalo, talking about tonight's loss.
Our defense was very solid for first 3 quarters, controlled the rebounds, didn't allow them to score in transition, kept them overall in check. And then we were pretty patient on offense. And then in the fourth quarter, I don't know if we ran out of juice but we couldn't anymore convert, couldn't get past them in one-on-one or ball screen situations. And then they were able to turn that into those steals into transition offense and also second shot opportunities.
What did you make of that lineup? To start the game, obviously getting Cedric in and Zach Edey back. How encouraging was that? Obviously, you lost John in that first quarter, but just some of the encouraging takeaways you could take away from what you saw.
A very encouraging performance from Zach. Brought a lot to us. Dominated the boards, physical presence. Our rim protection was at a completely different level than it has been so far this season. That's a great sign. He's taken a lot of steps forward during his rehabilitation, and it's great to see him back on the court. Overall, I like that lineup. It gives us a lot of length, a lot of defense, a lot of physicality, and even though we lost today, I thought there were overall a lot of positives in this performance. It was a big step up from the Boston game, and we competed. Wasn't enough today against this Cavaliers team.
Is there a play?
Yeah, I think the biggest positive you take out of this game is Zach Edey being on the floor.
Yeah, and the effect that he had on the basketball game. It's not just the being on the floor. Somebody can come back and you just put him on the floor. But if you just go on the floor and do nothing, then you might as well come sit down. This wasn't the case. He went out there, he performed individually, and he performed within the team, and he made the team a better team with him being out there.
Yeah, a term that coaches like to use now are gravitational pull. We saw gravitational pull from Big Maple tonight. The other thing, too, that Tuomas alluded to in the fourth quarter, Grizzlies had 8 turnovers through 3 quarters. They had 7 in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, no hurt, and it was a 13-2 run that really changed the game and changed it in Cleveland's favor. Up next for the Grizzlies will be the San Antonio Spurs. That'll be Tuesday night in San Antonio, national TV game. We'll be back with you on Thursday night from FedEx Forum when the Grizzlies will host the Sacramento Kings. Grizzlies Live gets underway at 6:30. Tip-off at 7 o'clock as the Grizz take on the Sacramento Kings.
And that will be one of the games that will be available free in multiple markets around the Mid-South.
Awesome. Look forward to that as well. All right, Grizzlies, they fall tonight to the Cleveland Cavaliers, 108-100. But I also agree with Tuomas. This was much better than the Boston performance.
Yeah, it's much more encouraging. And as they get bodies back and you hopefully don't lose any, then you start to see yourself look a little bit more whole. Then you can start to have a true evaluation of what this team will look like. But as long as their body's sitting on the side, it's going to continue to be the mixing and matching.
Yeah, we have the shot of the bench, and 3 of your primary ball handlers and playmakers are in street clothes. It makes it tough.
Yep, it sure did for the Grizzlies tonight as Cleveland goes on a big run in the fourth quarter and goes on to win the game by 8, 108-100, despite the Grizzlies leading by 11 early in this game. And despite the Grizzlies doing a lot of good things tonight, but not enough. The victory over the Cavaliers. Jaren Jackson Jr. led the way for the Grizzlies. He had 26 points, 5 boards, and 3 assists. Donovan Mitchell was the leading scorer of the game. He had 35 and 5 for the Cavaliers. So 108-100, Cavs win it. We'll talk to you again Thursday when the Grizzlies host Sacramento. Until then, good night, everyone.